Yeah. So the next one is 7/8, which is this line, and this 7/8 will give me 0.875, which is 7/8. Then the last one is 8/8, which will give me 1. So this is it. I'm going to rub it off now. Then I will draw it like it will be very bold. Then I'll write it. I'll write it on it. So, recap. Good. First of all, I said we have 8 lines. 8 lines, right, on our tape rule. So this is it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 lines. So I said we have 2 ways. Is it that you write this way, 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, then 8/8. This is the first method. This is the first method. Sorry. This is the first method. You do this first, this is just like a recap. Then you start dividing. So this is 1/8. Then the next one is 2/8. That is 2 here 1, 2 here 4. So this line is 1/4. The next one is 3/8. Our normal basic mathematics, we can't divide. And the next one is 4/8. 2 here 1, 2 in 8. 4 here 1, 4 in 8, 2. So this line is 1/2, which is half. Then the next one is 5/8. Our normal basic mathematics, we can't. Then the next one is 6/8. So 2 in 6, 3, 2 in 8, 4. So this line is 3/4. The next one is 7/8. We can't divide. That is more of decimal. And the next one is 8/8, which will give me 1. That is 0 to 1. Do we understand that? So that is the first method. Now the second method. Now the second method. Okay. This is the first method. The second method, I said we have 8 lines. So from this point to this point is 1/8. So definitely I have 1/8 in 8 places. 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. So I have 1/8 in 8 places. Good. Now from this point to this point is 1/8. From this point to this point is another 1 over 8. That is 1 over 8 times 2. 1 over 8 multiplied by 2. 2 here 1, 2 here 4. So this line is 1 over 4. You can see it's still the same thing as this. It's just that it's like I'm using another method entirely. Now, you know I said we have 1 over 8 in 8 places. So from this point to this point is 1 over 8. This is another 1 over 8, which is 1 over 4. Like I did here, 1 over 8 times 2, 1 over 4. So I have another 1 over 8 in 2 places here, which is 1 over 4. So definitely I have 2 1 over 4. Now, 1 over 4 times 2. 2 here 1, 2 here 2. So my answer is 1 over 2. So this line is 1 over 2. Now, definitely I have 2 1 over 4 and I have 4 1 over 8. Let's try that. 1 over 8 times 4. Good. 4 here 1, 4 here, 4 in 8, 2. So my answer is 1 over 2. It's still the same thing. It's still the same thing with this, just that we are using another method entirely. Good. Now from this point to this point is another 1 over 8. From this point to this point is another 1 over 8. 1 over 8 times 2, the first one I did, which is 1 over 4. So definitely I have 3 1 over 4s. Now this is 1 over 4, another 1 over 4, another 1 over 4. Now 1 over 4 times 3. I can't do this. This will give me 3 over 4. So this line is 3 over 4. If I have 3 1 over 4, yeah, definitely I'm going to have 6 1 over 8. Now, 1 over 8 times 6. 2 in 6, 3, 2 in 4, which will give me 3 over 4. It's still the same thing. I actually got the same thing here when I did my 6 over 8. 2 in 6, 3, 2 in 6, 3, 2 in 8, which will give me 4. It's still the same thing, but we are using 2 different methods entirely. Good. Now, from this point to this point is 1 over 8. From this point to this point is 1 over 8. 1 over 8 times 2, which will give me 1 over 4. The first thing I did here. So definitely I have 4 1 over 4 now. 1 over 4, 1 over 4, 1 over 4, 1 over 4. So 1 over 4 times 4 will give me 1. Definitely, if I have 4 1 over 4, I'm going to have 8 1 over 8. This is 1 over 8 in 8 places, because this is 1 over 8, 1 over 8, 1 over 8, 1 over 8, that's 4. 1 over 8, 1 over 8, that's 6. 1 over 8, 1 over 8, that is 8. So 1 over 8 in 8 places will also give me 1. Now, from this point to this point is 1 over 2. How do I get my 1 over 2, which is half? From here to here is 1 over 4. From here to here is 1 over 4. So I have 2 1 over 4, right? So 1 over 4 times 2, I did my calculations here, which will give me 1 over 2. So this is half, 1 over 2. So from this point to this point will definitely give me another 1 over 2, because this is from this point to this point is 1 over 4. From this point to this point is another 1 over 4, which is 1 over 2. So I have 2 1 over 2 in this. So from this point to 1 over 2, 1 over 2. 1 over 2 times 2 will also give me 1. So these are the 2 methods. Is either you do this or you do this. So this is, both are fraction. Excuse me. Both are fraction. But while doing this first one, we were unable to divide some things. We were unable to divide some values here. So in such situation, we are going to move it, like we are converting it to decimal. We are converting it to decimal. So here I have fraction and I have decimal. Excuse me. A quick one. It's a revision, like a quick one. Good. I have fraction and I have decimal. So the first one is 1/8. How do I get my 1/8? Don't forget 1/8 out of 8. You know I told you I have 8 lines. Good. Now the first one is 1/8. If you make use of your calculator, this will give you 0.125. Now the next one is 1/4. Where did I get that from? That is 2/8. I'm going to divide 2 into 1, 2 in 8, 4. Or I should do 1/8 times 2. You understand that, right? 1/4, if you use a calculator, that will give you 0.25. Now the next one is, now let's move to this. Our normal basic fraction. The first one we did. You know the next one after 2/4 is 3. After 2/8 is 3/8. Abi, right? The next one is 3/8. If I'm right. The next one is 3/8. Now we can't divide that, so I'm going to make use of my calculator. If you make use of your calculator, 3/8 will give you 0.375. Now the next one is 1/2. How do I get my 1/2? If I move to our first one, which I wrote 4/8, 4 in 4 1, 4 in 8 2, or I should do 1/4 times 2, which will give me 1/8, or I should do 1/4 times 4, which will give me 1/4 times 2 will give me 1/2, then 1/4 times 2, 1/4 times 2 will give me 1/2, then 1/8 times 4 will also give me 1/2. So our 1/2, if you make use of our calculator, will give you 0.5. Now the next one is, if you move to our first fraction here, the next one is 5/8. Now, based on our normal mathematics now, we can't divide that. We can't. Now 5/8, let's make use of decimal. That will give us, make use of your calculator, that will give you 0.625. Now the next one is 6/8. That one we can actually divide it. That will give me 3/4. If I don't want to do that, I'm going to multiply 1/4 in 3 places, which will give me 3/4. Or I should do 1/8 in 6 places, it will also give me 3/4. But now we want to make use of our calculator, so that will give us 0.75. Now the next one, let's go back to our normal basic fraction. The next one is 7/8. Basically, we cannot divide that. We can't divide 7/8. So definitely we are going to make use of our calculator. Now 7/8 will give me 0.875. So that's the fraction. Now do you understand this part? Now let me take you back to this place. If this is 0.125, this will be 0.25, this will be 0.375. I'm talking about this line now. This line is 0.25, this line is 0.375, this line is 0.5. This place is 0.625. This line will give me 0.625. This line will give me 0.75. And this will give me 0.875, and this is 1. So this is how to read the tape rule. This is how to read the tape rule. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed the class, the video. Please